The rain hammered against the floor-to-ceiling windows of the penthouse, as Marcus Chen stood motionless in the shadows of his home office. At 42, he'd built an empire from nothing, a cybersecurity firm that protected half the Fortune 500. But tonight, success felt hollow. His wife, Vivian, had left him 3 months ago, taking their daughter Sophie with her. "You care more about your company than your own family," she'd said. The words still stung, because they were true. Now, standing in his empty mansion, overlooking Seattle's skyline, Marcus felt the weight of his isolation. The only constant in his life was Rosa Martinez, the housekeeper who'd worked for him for 8 months. She arrived at 6 every morning, left at 2 in the afternoon, and barely spoke beyond polite greetings. Marcus had noticed things going missing lately. Small things at first: a vintage watch, some cash from his desk drawer, a pair of gold cufflinks. His business partner, Derek, had warned him, "You can't trust these people, Marcus. They come into your home, see what you have, and they take advantage." The accusation gnawed at him. Rosa was the only person with access to his home. The evidence seemed damning, yet something about the situation didn't sit right. Rosa had kind eyes, the sort that crinkled at the corners when she smiled at the photos of his daughter. That's when Marcus devised his plan. The next morning, Marcus positioned himself on the leather couch in his living room, pretending to be asleep. He deliberately left his study door ajar, with $500 in cash visible on his desk alongside his late father's Rolex, the one possession that truly meant something to him. Through barely opened eyelids, he watched Rosa enter at her usual time. She moved quietly, setting down her cleaning supplies. She glanced at him on the couch, and he felt her pause. Then she walked past him toward the kitchen. For an hour, Marcus maintained his charade. Rosa cleaned the kitchen, humming softly, a Spanish lullaby that reminded him of his own childhood nanny. She dusted the shelves, watered the plants, and organized the mail. She never went near his study. Marcus felt a twinge of guilt. Maybe Derek was wrong. Maybe he was wrong. Then Rosa did something unexpected. She walked to the couch, where he lay, and gently draped a blanket over him. "Sleep well, Mr. Chen," she whispered. "You work too hard." The gesture surprised him. When had anyone last shown him such simple kindness? Rosa moved to his study. Marcus tensed, watching through slitted eyes. This was it, the moment of truth, but Rosa didn't touch the money or the watch. Instead, she pulled out a small notebook from her apron pocket and began writing. Marcus couldn't see what she was writing, but he saw tears streaming down her face. She wiped them quickly, closed the notebook, and left the study exactly as she'd found it. Confused, Marcus waited until Rosa left for the day before retrieving the notebook she'd accidentally left behind. What he read shattered him. "Dear God, Mr. Chen looks so tired. He barely eats the meals I prepare. I hear him talking to his daughter on the phone, his voice full of pain. I wish I could do something to help, but I'm just the housekeeper. The medicine for my son's leukemia treatments costs more than I make in 6 months. I've sold everything I own. The hospital says if I can't pay by next week, they'll stop his chemotherapy. He's only 9 years old. I've thought about asking Mr. Chen for help, but he has his own troubles. His wife left him. He barely sleeps. How can I add my burden to his? I'm writing this in his study, because it's the only quiet place where I can pray. Please, God, show me a way to save my boy." Marcus's hands trembled as he turned the pages. Entry after entry revealed Rosa's struggles, working 3 jobs, sleeping 4 hours a night, visiting her son at the hospital during her lunch breaks. Never once did she mention taking anything from anyone. His phone buzzed. Derek's text read, "Did you set up the camera I recommended? Catch her yet?" Marcus ignored it. He'd been so wrong. He spent the next 2 hours researching, making calls, and pulling strings. By evening, he had a plan. The following morning, Rosa arrived to find Marcus waiting for her in the kitchen. "Mr. Chen. You startled me. I thought you'd be at work." "Rosa, sit down please," Marcus said gently, her face paled. "Have I done something wrong?" "No, Rosa. I'm the one who's done wrong." He slid her notebook across the table. "You left this yesterday. I read it. I'm sorry. I had no right to invade your privacy, but I'm glad I did." Tears welled in Rosa's eyes. "Mr. Chen, I never took anything from you, I swear." "I know," Marcus interrupted. "I know you didn't. And I'm ashamed I ever suspected you." He pulled out an envelope. "This is a check for $100,000. It will cover your son's treatments and then some." Rosa stared at the check, then at Marcus, her mouth opening and closing soundlessly. "But there's more," Marcus continued. "I've spoken with Seattle Children's Hospital. My company will sponsor a new pediatric oncology wing. Your son will receive the best care available, completely covered. I've also arranged for you to have paid time off whenever you need to be with him." Rosa broke down sobbing. "I can't, this is too much. Why would you do this?" Marcus felt his own eyes burning. Because my wife was right about me. I'd forgotten what matters. You come into my home every day, shouldering a burden I can't imagine, yet you took time to cover me with a blanket. You showed me more compassion than I've shown anyone in years. He paused, gathering his thoughts. I've been so focused on building my empire that I lost sight of building relationships. I tested you because I'd learned to distrust everyone. But you taught me something invaluable. Real character reveals itself in small acts of kindness when no one's watching. Rosa wiped her eyes. My son, he's going to live. He's going to get every chance to beat this, Marcus promised. 6 months later, Marcus stood in the new hospital wing at the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Rosa was beside him, her son Javier, now in remission, holding her hand. The boy's smile was radiant. Derek approached Marcus after the ceremony. I still think you're being naive. You got lucky with her. Marcus shook his head. No, Derek. I almost missed what was right in front of me, because I was looking for the worst in people. He glanced at Rosa and Javier. I've made a lot of money in my life, but I never felt truly wealthy until I learned to trust again. That evening, Marcus's phone rang. It was Vivian. Sophie showed me the news article about the hospital wing, she said quietly. The Marcus I fell in love with is in that story. I'm trying to find my way back, Marcus admitted. I know I can't undo the past, but I'm learning that success means nothing if you're successful alone. As they talked, really talked, for the first time in months, Marcus looked at the photo on his desk. It showed him, Rosa, Javier, and the entire hospital staff at the opening ceremony. He'd had it framed. On the back, Rosa had written, God answers prayers in mysterious ways. Thank you for being the answer to mine. Marcus had responded below her note, and thank you for being the answer to mine, a reminder of what it means to be human. The money he'd made would never buy what Rosa's simple act of kindness had given him, a chance to become the man he'd always meant to be.